So since UCFC podcast is yours, Nova, you should you want to run the introduction?
Me? Wait.
Yeah, it's your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is I'm your special guest. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It's been a while.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out.
Okay.
In post.
You're a post.
I forgot the intro.
It's a fresh new start. Just make a new intro.
Girls taste like the next Phoenix.
Yo, that ain't real, that's slow. What? Yo, man, y'all seen the 1-inch thick link jamming that be sewn up on water? They be dookie? Word. Stupid dumb gold chain. Yo, man, they know nothing about yo, hold it, man. Let's just tell them about some gold. Look, feel, style, to maintain. Brothers racing the lines for a name change. A young man.
Coming to you live from beautiful sunny Florida.
Hi.
Florida? I hardly know her.
Starring your host, Nova.
Hey. Hey.
Special co-host, Mad.
Hello.
The comedy stylings of Sunsky. And introducing special guest, Radical Hair.
Did you just introduce
Hey.
yourself?
Hey, welcome to the UCFC
No,
podcast.
I didn't. That's the narrator.
Tonight we have special guest Rad, as well as a couple extra guests, Matt and Sunsky. Y'all say hello.
This me.
Hello, I'm mad.
You didn't wait for that, did you?
Now it's really starting.
I'm Radical Hair.
And tonight we're putting away the usual schedule because while there may be a whole bunch of new stuff, Radical's here, and he's got something to tell you bitches.
It's pretty radical.
Sunsky, you gotta say your name or they won't know who the hell you are.
Oh yeah,
They're gonna
I'm
be wondering who this extra voice is.
I'm Sunsky. Sunsky, however you want to pronounce it.
God, I thought you watched podcasts. You should know how this works.
What's a podcast?
So this is a special high concept episode tonight.
Real high concept stuff. We're talking Kanye.
So I have a very serious problem, and these people
make
are
pills for
going
that.
to. These people are going to exacerbate my problem and encourage me to do terrible financial decisions.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I think that until you're broke,
What do you mean until?
I guess that's true. Your department store money's not gonna last you forever.
Hey, it's middle management department store money, baby.
Oh,
will.
okay, then that'll last you another year or so.
If you sign up for a lot of credit cards while your credit's still good, you can coast on that shit for years.
Just pay off the credit cards with a credit card like a normal American, damn it.
So, Nova, would you like to introduce tonight's topic? Actually, before that, what's everyone been building? Let's have a little banter, a little pre-show before we get to the main
Thank
topic
you for
here.
saying exactly what I was going to say, my friend.
Well, I have been building both things new and old. I built the frame arm stylet the other day, but what I've been building recently is the master grade Dom, or I guess the Rick Dom, but it's mostly the same kit. I only got one leg done, but that leg is pretty fantastic so far. A little creaky. It's a little worrying.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an old kid if it wasn't creaky.
Yeah.
Makes it feel heirloom. How was the how do you feel about the style? That was your first
Frame arms.
frame arms, right?
It's fragile.
That's Kodo.
It looks fantastic, obviously. There's none of that crappy Kotobukiya silver in there, so
Yeah.
everything looks great.
Yeah, that's a good word for
But
it.
it's not all that fun to pose, which isn't a deal breaker or anything. But it's just kind of an observation that I've made, that I'd rather just keep it standing there, like, neutrally.
It's standing there, menacingly. I am currently, like as in this very second, building the final leg of the Frame Arms Girl Griffin.
Not a Kodo.
A lot of Koto.
It's really, really fun so far. I think this is my favorite Frame Arms Girl I've built yet. Yeah.
I love that she comes with a really creepy slasher smile and just a folding knife.
It's really, really good. She has such a shit-eating smile. I love it.
It's part of the charm.
Nova, what are you working on? I know it's something big.
Well, I finished it finally after like 8 sittings over the course of 3 days. I think it was about a total of 8 to 10 hours. Perfect grade Mark II Titans colors.
How was that, man? It's exhausting, isn't it?
I love it, but God, that thing is tiring.
Yeah, especially those legs, right?
How loose were the legs on yours? Because mine and Mads did backflips.
Oh, they were gonna be loose as hell. I tightened those bitches right away.
So you preempted
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I've heard all the stories from you guys, and I was like, I'm not gonna deal with it. So I just snipped it right there. Well, not snipped it. I glued it up, and it's good. The ankles I actually had to oil because the springs were kind of creaky. Now they're fine. Suspension works great. And I did notice that whenever I put it on my shelf wrong, it did like a full flip and landed on the ground, and it hit the suspension, and it just stood.
It's a pretty sick kit. It's got
I
shocks.
guess those are functional. There's just so much detail on it. The shield is weird.
Yeah, I didn't actually build the shield because mine kept backflipping and I just didn't feel like working on it.
Wait, how's the shield work?
The shield has a really weird, like, arm.
It has a locking spring on the inside, so you have to rotate the base to push like the back of the shield out to deploy it. So you can
I forgot about that.
it locks in, and then you just spin it, and it pops out for like locking it open.
That's really cool.
That's
I actually remember I accidentally decapitated my Banshee the first time because when I undid the spring, it launched the shield out and it hit it right in the neck. And the Banshee's head just went flying.
That's how fast it happens.
I'm jealous that you got the Titans. I got the AEUG. I know the snubs are better, but I really like the blue.
I'm pretty partial to the AU because I'm boring.
Actually, the nubs on it, not even a problem because the armor is undergated.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah, all the Mark II armor is undergated, so even though it was that dark blue and underneath the armor you could see, not very good. On the armor, not even a little bit of a problem. It just looks good. I did have to spend like 30 minutes trying to work out how to do the LED cockpit because the way that they wire it is BS, but it works now.
That's like the pinnacle of an old PG is having really fucking weird, like wiring. Like the Charzaku is a bunch of little copper plates and wires, and it's like a nightmare. And the picture they show you is a terrible like angle of it. And it took like I got to work, and then I put it together, and it stopped working, so I had to keep taking it apart like 6
You
times.
got any tips? Because apparently I'm gonna need them.
Oh my god, did Witch get you one?
Green.
He's gonna upstage us, damn.
I'm still pretty proud of mine.
Yeah.
Actually, before we move on, or since we're going with Secret Santa in the UCFC server, Mad, you were one of the first people to get yours.
Yeah, that's very true. So I've already talked about two of the kits that were in there. And the stylet and the Rick Dom. I also got the HGC Annabelle Gatos Dom, which is
That's such a beautiful color, isn't it?
It's wonderful. It's a little better in person, honestly. Like, I think that color scheme is salvageable, but it's not quite right. But the thing that was the most important by far is the 3 Dom tropical test types that were filled with sand.
You know, that was how good Bandai used to be in the day.
Yeah.
But they give you diorama parts in model kits.
Oh, dang, dude.
Absolutely amazing.
The forest goof comes with leaves. I mean, they're all decayed by now because it's from 1980. But sand that sticks around.
Yeah.
I hate when you open up the Ack guy and it just pours out a bucket of water.
Yeah, it was really, really creative at the time. But
Real high concept stuff.
hey, there's also a Kubrick Dom or a bear brick.
Yeah, there was a bear brick.
You finally own a bear brick. How do you feel about
God.
that? Did you ever think you'd own a bear brick?
I never thought I'd own a bear brick, to tell you the truth.
The thing that clogs up every Mandarake search result. Fucking bear bricks.
Bear Brick Optimus Prime, the worst thing that's ever existed.
I think there's like 7 of them.
I know, there's a Starscream and it's horrible.
I would fill my Secret Santa with bear bricks, but unfortunately I'm not buying from Mandarake.
Anyway, hey Rad,
Oh yes. So I've been working on to continue the theme. I've been doing some Kodo kits too. I've built the Agni Rage, which is the biggest frame art or hexagear they have right now. It was a big boy. It's really impressive, and I like it a whole lot. And now I've spent like $400, and I'm really deep in the hexahole.
Yeah, you built like what, every one now, right?
No, not even close. I got like 3 more coming tomorrow though. I've been building the governors at work on lunch breaks.
Sick.
And today I left one of the frames at home So when a bunch of people gathered around and were genuinely interested in what I was doing, I looked like a dumbass because I couldn't actually finish the kit.
Good work, man.
Yeah, it was great. But so that's what I've been building lately. I got a shit ton of new kits from Ami the other day, but I haven't touched them. Alex 2.0 sitting over in the corner. But that 1990 Grandpa is the big win, so that shit ain't getting touched till I build that guy.
Yeah.
You know, probably for the 40th anniversary next year.
That's a really rare kit, though. That was unfair that you got it for that cheap.
I'm excited. Just check in with me each podcast so we do this again. See if I've ever touched that, Alex. Because I still have that. I still have that Grandpa 3.0 that I bought and was really excited to build.
And he never built it.
I still have the RG Sazabi that I bought and was excited to build.
Hey guys, wouldn't it be fun if we did like an RG Sazabi group build?
Oh no.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be fun if we didn't do that?
Hey, we do have a really exciting group build that hopefully we can announce soon.
Yeah, I
do?
think we should be able.
Me and Matt.
Yeah, I think we should be able to announce it Monday.
Wait a minute. What server is this?
This is no server. This is just us two.
Oh, okay.
It's a secret surprise that I'll be happy to announce when it shows up.
Oh boy.
But
Moderately relevant, but we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do episode 3. We'll talk about that, and this will really change what this podcast is about. All right, so Nova, do you want to introduce the main topic, or do you have anything house cleaning? Anything else?
I'm gonna go over some real quick news and then get into it. Just from this week, Masquerade Barbatos looks weird.
yeah,
Smooth Grandpa.
Yeah. The grandpa
Smooth.
looks dumb as hell. Charzaku's okay. Green Zaku not so okay. Second Victory looks
Grandma's
great,
cookies.
except I don't care about Victory. But hey,
Yeah, I wish it was a master grade. It would be so cool.
did
for
y'all
that
see
detail.
that there was Gunpla YouTubers saying it's a Verka, but high grade?
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Is that a specific YouTuber that we all
No,
know
it's
and hate?
not. It's actually someone completely different. Actually, it's two completely
listen-
different people. Let me find them.
Well, I'm glad
no.
they don't. I'm glad you know who doesn't have a monopoly on really awful hot takes.
yeah.
Not right now. There's someone else who managed to have the dumbest hot take yet.
Oh man.
Hey, we should save that for UCFC After Dark,
Yeah.
where we just
Oh, I
shit
found it.
talk
It's
on
awesome
YouTubers.
choice.
Oh okay. of
Oh,
course.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe that.
So when we start the UC Fight Club podcast,
That's what the FC stands
it's gonna
for.
happen one of these days.
I got
seems like it's
I got
sometimes.
some hot opinions for you, Matt, about your favorite anime, Iron Blooded Orphans.
Oh, you gonna hate Iron Blooded WordPress on this one?
For those who don't know, Matt is the owner of the Iron Blooded WordPress, the #1 Twitter for
Jutaketsu.
IBO discourse and
Does
reviews.
this exist? Oh no.
Yeah, dude, check out my Twitter @BaldGlaley.
Oh no. I'm
After
so
the
sorry.
podcast, I can send you my Iron Blooded WordPress Twitter blog posts.
I would love you to. Thank you. I appreciate.
Sunsky reposts porn, and I make really hot takes about Kappa
That
Monkey.
sounds about
Listen,
right.
sometimes I repost the funny.
All right, let's get started. So, news aside, because no one cares about that. Radical here is a guest tonight because he does something that very few can say they could ever do.
Touch his elbow with his tongue.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a freak accident at when I was little, shoulder dislocated.
It's a skill beyond others. This man here collects phoenixes. He doesn't just collect phoenixes, he's collected every phoenix. Let's talk about it.
Yes, all of them.
Yeah, so I have an encyclopedic and first-hand knowledge of every Phoenix ever released.
Yes, all of them.
I have, yes, all of them. I don't know why people have such a hard time with that. Every time it comes up, it's
No, there's gotta be one you don't have.
like, no, I have more Phoenixes than most people know exist. I have more really stupid, really weird, like Singapore exclusive merchandise that people don't know exists.
You have a belt.
That's a lanyard.
It's a belt for your neck.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
That's called a choker.
Listen, I don't judge what he does in his free time.
I'm not asphyxiating myself with my lanyard. It's too hard to find. It's maybe a different lanyard, like the one I got from Gen Con or something. But yeah, so I have all of them. Admittedly, get in front of this. There's 3 that I have not yet built, but I have very exclusive knowledge of how they're put together and their coatings. And they're not going to be that different because I've built the destroy mode like 9 fucking times now, and I'm really sick of it. But I got 3 more to go, baby.
Well, man, I'm happy to build them for you. Just send them over.
I started eating this apple. I got to finish it.
That's a very interesting euphemism?
Is that the word?
Saying?
I
No,
Idiom. I think idiom's the word.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't got a dog in this horse.
Yeah. Okay.
Soliloquy, that's the word.
Sure.
It's not a soliloquy.
You're a soliloquy.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll edit it in post.
Put some clown music over it.
The very first Phoenix came out in 2013 in August, which, hey, it's my birthday, and the next Phoenix is coming out in 2019 on my birthday. So it was meant to be.
You're born into the same sign.
Yeah, surprisingly, the Phoenix is a Leo. You think it would be the Banshee, but no, it's actually an Aquarius. I'll go over the history real quick before I get into each one in detail. 2013, August, was the very first release of the MSV Phoenix, the Gundam Front Tokyo High Grade. It was followed in November by the gold coating version. I should say the original was 2,500 yen. The gold coating was 4,800 yen. So we're going to get an idea of pricing here. But 2014, after 2 exclusive Gundam Front Tokyo releases, Bandai got their stupid pants on their head and released the Phoenix as a retail master grade. It's the MSV Phoenix, and it retailed at 12,000 yen in February. Later, they finished the trifecta and released the clear color MSV DM. A little later, they released the first robot Damashi, also Gundam Front Tokyo. At this point, we have 4 Gundam Front Tokyos in 1 retail release, and the retail release is the master grade. Go figure. September, we got the BB Senshi Phoenix. End of the year, November, we got the Unicorn mode in gold plating. It was an Expo exclusive. 2015 was a very dark year. I don't like to talk about it. Nothing happened. It was disgusting. No Phoenix. 2016 started off with the bang. We got the GFF Phoenix in April. In July, we got the 2 set, which repackaged the G Phoenix and the regular Phoenix in gold and silver plating. That was a Gundam Front Tokyo exclusive again. And we got the Gundam Front Tokyo exclusive again, Converge, which was 1,728 yen, which is really cheap compared to what stuff costs nowadays for Converges. Because at some point they realize people will pay stupid money for Converges.
If you make it, they will buy it.
It's true. That's why people spend like 6,000 yen on a single Converge.
That's ridiculous.
Or like 1,200 for the NT 4K Blu-ray to get the P-type.
I would have bought it if I had the money.
Okay, so the 2017 was a big year. That was the Perfect Grade Phoenix, retailing for 43,000 yen, which to date is still the most expensive Perfect Grade, excluding weird convention exclusives that like are worth literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars, like 24 karat Grandpa.
Wasn't that a giveaway?
Yeah, that one sells for that much, but like just going by actual released kits. I think, I might be wrong, I think the Mastermind Phoenix was a little more expensive, but I can't remember if that was like a lottery or like some weird shtick, or if it was actually the same price. It might have been the same price, but the Mastermind is dumb bullshit anyway.
I mean, you're right.
2018 was the year of NT. We got the normal gold plating and clear color NT. High grade all in a row. We got the Master Grade NT as a P Bandai in November. Re-release of the Robot Damashi with the tails for December. And we got the Cross Silhouette in December. So December 2018 was a good year for Phoenix. 2019, they hit us with the G-Frame, which is easily the most forgettable Phoenix. By far. We got hit with the NT Converge, High Grade NT, and then finally in August we are getting the Unicorn mode, which is 5,400 yen, which actually is the same price as the original Unicorn mode. So inflation does not exist for Bandai. That's why they're able to release those 1980 kits for 300 yen still.
When you got enough money, you can do whatever you want.
I will say, if you want to hear something really specific and weird, the only time I've ever seen Bandai raise the MSRP on a kit, Perfect Grade Phoenix was just reissued recently. The price went up by exactly 200 yen.
What?
Yeah, the re-release was 43,200 yen instead of 43,000. Specifically
Weird.
200. It was a really weird choice.
What could possibly be the reason for that?
God, now it's out of range, man.
I have no idea.
That 200 yen, it's too much for me.
When I got mine, it was for about 300 used. Now, after it was re-released, they're up to $500 each.
I don't know how that works.
And they are selling at that price.
Why does it get more expensive?
So what I think it is, fear of missing out.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I think the fact that more of them are released, it makes more people see people getting them, and it drives up demand even though actual supply hasn't went up that much. Whereas the Phoenixes that were up for sale before that were stock that had been sitting around. It was supply without much demand versus a lot of demand with little supply.
As it happens.
Reaganomics, man. Even weird new type powers can't fight that. The true form of the human heart is wanting really expensive kits because other people have them.
This is what Full Frontal warned us of.
The Phoenix is a perfect, shining hallmark of capitalism.
It's also a great dowry gift.
Only the bootlegs, though.
Only the bootleg.
I don't know where to talk about this anywhere else, but there's that picture going around of someone getting a PG Phoenix as a dowry gift, and it's the fucking Debon bootleg.
Ooh.
Someone linked that, and it was the very first thing I saw from like the tiny thumbnail.
Was that it wasn't the Bandai one, and nobody else noticed?
Yeah, no one else brought it up. It's the Debon.
Because only you would notice the, like, absolute subtle change that is...
Well, the subtle change is that the gold is completely different and the V-fin's completely different.
The gold isn't even close.
I mean...
You have to know to look
Yeah.
for it, to be fair. You have to be a trained Phoenix scholar, you see.
Those are words.
I am sitting chair at the North American Phoenix Society Institute.
You're the only one in it, and you're also the leader.
It's my chair, so I get to sit in it.
Well, wouldn't it have been sad if he wasn't?
I personally challenge anyone to say they have a better Phoenix collection than I do, because I want to meet them and be their friend, because they have good taste.
That is respectable.
I've seen one other like comparable collection, and they didn't even have everything.
Or like half of everything, let alone the merchandise.
It was the closest collection I saw, and it was not even like scratching on my level.
I'd like to meet the man who has more real grade Zeta than I do.
I don't think there's anyone.
I mean, I used to have the Jigans.
Oh, God,
That's
yeah.
not even. No one even remembers that anymore.
Yeah, I remembered the Jagans, because the first thing I thought was that you'd still built more of those than you've built Unicorn mode, or Destroy mode high grades.
Yeah, actually, just barely. I mean, by the time I finish these last three, it'll probably be even.
That's so sad.
I will say MG Jigan's a lot more fun to build after the 7th time.
It reminds me of a great saying, I fear not the man who has built 1,000 kits, but I fear the man that has built 1,000 kits damn it, one kit 1,000 times.
Don't worry, I'll fix it in post.
Alright, every time Sun talks, we should just put like faint clown music in the background.
Oh no, I can hear it now.
I mean, when I edit in his profile picture, it's going to be a clown.
A little nose on it.
But yeah, so let's get in the meat of it. The reason we're here is because I have first-hand experience with all of them. I'm going to, in the best format for reviewing a model kit in audio, I'm going to give a brief dissertation and review of every single Phoenix, except the one that's not out, but I still will because I built it once.
He will be the eyes, you will be the ears.
So let's go on this journey, audience. For people doubting me, I have a folder where I keep pictures of all the things I'm missing. Let me open that real fast.
What is it, a hat, a wallet, and a book bag?
No, I have the book bag.
He's missing, I think, the 2 wallets, the jewelry.
Necklace.
So
Yeah.
there is acrylic keychains, which were only released at the movie, and they came in a blind bag. There are metal charms. There's one of the Phoenix. That was also only released at the movie as a blind bag. I've only ever seen the Gustav Karl for like 700 yen. There's 1 pin I'm missing, 3 pieces of jewelry, a ladies' and a men's wallet, and 2 train passes. Because for some reason, Hobby Japan likes to give away train passes as like a bonus item. And they made 2 of the Phoenix, and they're really hard to find, and they go for a lot of money.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. So, believe me, if you see a Phoenix, unless it was literally announced a minute ago, I know about it. I know about it.
There is not. I just checked.
Yeah, we're safe until August, when they inevitably announce an RG Phoenix.
Oh yeah, you even have the one SD Phoenix.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the RG Phoenix does not exist yet. I mean, it does. If you ask anyone on any of these servers, I've shown it to them, and they very much believe it. But yeah, the last HG we need is the Phoenix. So expect an RG after that, because they're not going to announce the RG before they pimp that out.
You know how they are about their August real grade announcements. That's what they did with Fog.
Yep, it would be the perfect time for them to announce another Phoenix. But okay,
Yeah.
so let's roll back. We're starting with the very first, the original Phoenix. Right after the MSV was revealed in I think it was a book. It was either a book or they just posted a picture of it online. Like, ha, look, there's another unicorn.
Wouldn't it be funny if we made another Unicorn Bros?
Unless.
Dude, the Unicorn Unit 04 Draconis is going to be
Stop that.
in Unicorn 2.
That was
I
my
hate this
thing.
joke every
Shush.
time. I hate this.
Anyway, so the very first one, way back before Gundam Base was a thing, it was Gundam Front Tokyo, which is literally Gundam Base, but they called it a different thing. So there were a lot of GFT kits. For some reason, people don't remember them that well. So you got a lot of weird stuff like the Delta Gundam Unit 2 Clear, which is a pretty cool kit that no one seems to remember.
Isn't that the red clear one?
Yeah.
No, despite the clear in its name, it's not actually clear.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool GFT stuff. The Crystal Body Unicorn was a GFT exclusive originally.
Oh, right.
And then everyone pissed and moaned, so they made it P Bandai. Yeah, way back in the day, they announced the Phoenix. This was actually a little bit before G-Reco crossover happened. So the Phoenix got announced, and pretty much right away they showed off from the Past to the Future, which had the G-Phoenix. Which, if you don't know, is the silver recolor with red frame, which just makes it look like a really shiny unicorn.
Beautiful.
It's a weird take. So they announced it and basically immediately put it in G-Reco, which, cross-marketing. Good for them.
In with the trash.
Ooh.
You want to start the UC Fight Club, bro? You want to waltz on over to Denny's? Settle this?
Yeah, you're not Macho Man.
It's a PvP enabled zone. Y'all go ahead.
So, yeah, they announced this new mobile suit. It's the Unicorn, and we're in 2013, so it's just as big as ever. We were at peak Unicorn back then. We've never stopped being at peak Unicorn, really. So they announced the Phoenix, and then about a month or so later, it's a big surprise, you can buy it. So the original high grade is Curry Gold. The one thing Phoenixes are consistent on is about Curry Gold. They're all awful. It's swirly, it's gross, it's not great. Some handle it a little better than others. This one didn't handle it well. The only new parts were actually the bracket for the backpack and the V-fin.
The audio peak.
Don't worry, I'll fix it in post.
Don't you dare. Paul stretch it.
But yeah, so this was a re-release. Basically the Norn minus the gun and like 2 new parts. Good stuff. Later was the gold plating version. There's a distinction between MSV and NT Phoenixes. MSV Phoenixes are usually more of a silver gold, kind of almost stepping into platinum, but they're very, very, almost like rose gold minus the pink. They're very, very white gold. NT has been very consistent about making it a very orangey, like rich gold. So all of the gold plating early on is going to be like almost silver. And that's what this first gold plating high grade was. The exact same kit, it's just shiny. This was early on, so it does not have the really awful seam lines on the thighs. Because the mold was just battered at this point. It wasn't actually bruised.
That poor guy.
Next year, we start with the Master Grade MSV Phoenix, which, it's alright.
It's pale.
How's the gold?
It's alright. So it's still got the pale gold, because it is gold-plated. That's why it's 12,000 yen. It does have a bit of a problem. If you've never built Master Grade Unicorn, which I know everyone here has, it does the torso expansion by a little C-clip that goes up and down.
Oh god.
That C-clip pivots, which means the large weight of the 2 DEs on the back make it really like to either crunch completely forward or crunch completely backwards.
That's not so nice.
And the action-based connector is on the hips, so you can't really like backpack plug it. Which I really wish every Phoenix had some kind of backpack adapter to mount it, because
It'd be smart.
it's not a great idea mounting them by the waist. Otherwise, though, it's pretty much the exact same thing. The blue is very blue. One nice thing about the early shiny silver Phoenixes is that you can still tell they're blue. A lot of the later ones with really yellowy gold, they make the cycloframe look green. Which will be funny when we get to a much later kit, but
oh boy.
at this point it was still really noticeably blue. After that, we got the high-grade clear color, which I know Matt is probably excited to talk about. It is the one that, if you've ever been on Amazon and seen a clear Phoenix pop up that looks like Crystal P.
There you go.
That's the one.
You found it. Congratulations.
They did entirely clear for the armor. Not like soft yellow like they do in most kits. It is entirely like dead, shedded bug shell clear.
That's a great way to put it.
Like
wow.
a sunwashed cicada shell with a lot of really tiny gold flakes in it. And the cycle frame is just like blue-ass blue. So you get this really, really wild-looking... The best thing I think to compare it to is like a wireframe cheat in like a 64 game. It's nightmarish, but it's kind of beautiful because it's really, really
it's
weird to look at.
Number 1 Phoenix so far, for sure. I didn't even do that one on purpose.
It's clearly the best.
So I will say, before we get too far away from the blue, is the blue as consistent as the gold is between all of the kits, or is it...
Yes, blue. They got blue.
The same blue for every single kit? Okay.
It might vary the tiniest bit, but it's never been enough to actually be noticeable. On figures, they spray blue over gold. It makes just actual green.
Ugh.
But anything that has actual clear parts of the frame are very blue. Just nothing else that could get straight. Okay, so that puts us at the Robot Damashi. This is a remold, slightly, of the Robot Damashi Unicorn, the full action one, so it's the good one. It exists. In 2014, Robot Damashi was kind of in a rough spot. Their releases were either really nice or they looked like ass. We're not talking like age 1.
It looks like that Dom that we talk about all the time.
Pretty good figure. Very lanky.
Sounds like a unicorn.
Tiny head, very long arms
Sounds
and legs.
like It's like a robot Damashi where they've decided that they want everything to look like an Ava.
Verkaka.
Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine if someone took the unicorn, which is a Katoki design, and then they applied the joke of haha Katoki to it. You'd basically have the robot Damashi. It has really weird connections for the DEs, and they are on ball joints.
Oh.
Which is a really bizarre choice, but they hold on, so I can't complain. I can, but
But you won't.
yeah, there's more to talk about. So at this point, if you went to Gundam Front Tokyo, you could buy yourself 4 different Phoenixes.
If it were still Gundam Front Tokyo,
Impressive.
of course.
Yeah, if it still exists. If it was July 2014. I'm gonna take a quick break because to talk about this because GFT goes away in 2 years. Gundam Front Tokyo didn't just have model kits. It also was the place where I got the crown jewel of my collection.
Oh no.
For some reason, there is specifically an iPhone 5 Phoenix case.
Have you gotten the iPhone 5 to match it yet?
No, I'm not an iPhone person. I've been an Android person since like 2006, 7. Not a big iPhone guy. Here's the actual important thing, though.
Complete that collection.
Probably the most obscure piece of Phoenix related minutia. There is a G Phoenix iPhone case, which is even rarer and less talked about. And when I say rare and less talked about, no one has ever talked about the iPhone case Phoenix. This thing you can only find by accident in Google searches in like one specific Gundam Kit Collection news post. I have never seen it anywhere on the internet owned by an actual person. I've seen one picture of it for sale on a stand. I imagine they were all thrown away with the iPhone 5s they were cover protecting. But that exists. It's probably one of the most weird and niche pieces of Gundam merch. And there's a lot of that. But G Phoenix iPhone 5 case is my personal favorite.
Just go into a local Japanese landfill and maybe you'll find a couple of them.
Yeah, and probably a whole bunch of G Phoenixes.
Hey.
Ooh.
I'm just being mean. It's okay.
I'm
They'll
gonna
be
cry,
right next
bro.
to the G Self Master
Hey,
Grade.
the G Self Master Grade have to be made to be thrown away.
Oh, it's gonna be made to throw away
Yeah, when they make it a Verka.
Pin that.
Oh.
We'll come back to it in 3 years.
when it still hasn't happened.
You never know. Bandai with their that fucking MG Barbados that just got announced.
The thing is, IBO was successful.
That is true.
That is true.
Never mind, you said successful.
Yeah,
Not good. My
yeah,
bad.
successful. Good is very relative. Successful though, it made some money.
Yeah.
Relative is a funny way to say.
Hey,
Probably the most successful AU since Age. Wait, no, Build Fighters happened.
yeah, you're right.
Significantly
Build
more
Fighters happened.
successful.
I don't even know if IBO pulled build numbers, to be fair.
I mean, IBO didn't pull build numbers. That's why Build has like 80 kits now, and IBO has like 30.
Hey, Build still has good kits. I love how the model number is just the link to Amazon Japan.
That's my favorite part of that box is that the
Wait, is it what AZJ or .jp?
PS Amazon.co.jp.
Amazon. It's just the Amazon Gundam.
If you look it up on the the Gundam wiki page, it's literally just the link and then AZ Gundam.
It says it on the
really
freaking manual.
It's and they
That's so
don't
funny.
they don't actually mention that in the manual. So even though its model number is literally a link to Amazon, I'm pretty
They
sure.
don't tell you why.
Yeah, the manual does
It's
not
native
acknowledge
advertising.
Amazon.
That's what I call multi-level marketing.
Okay, so that brought us to the SD. The SD Unicorn, the original one, had a very interesting gimmick. If you
Oh no.
the original SD
horse.
Unicorn, it had a very tiny transformation. Like the chest part slid out, the shoulders kind of lifted up, and it had a little bit of red in it. But its real crowning feature was that it turned into a little horsey. You leaned it forward, you lifted the crest up, and you stuck a V-fin or a beam saber out of its butt to make a tail. So it looks like it just collapsed from getting an
That's how I
enemy.
spend my weekends.
The miracle of the Axis is a unicorn enema.
Kshatriya became a crab.
People aren't aware of the novel, but the unicorn actually turns into a unicorn, and it's got a beam saber up its butt. It's Fukui wrote it. It's true.
Amazing.
Is this before or after Benager sniffed coke off of Mikat's ass?
Oh, way after. That was like
Yes.
volume 3.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That definitely actually happened. Make sure you believe it without anyone linking sources. Like
Yeah.
anything else someone tells you about something in Japanese. People will never lie to you. Just believe it without
Yeah.
sources.
There's no way that Unicorn has a complete fan translation of all, or at least the first 7 volumes.
Oh,
Exactly.
come on. the entirety of Unicorn's practically just a fan fiction.
This, but unironically.
Unicorn is the
I still love it, but it's a fan fiction. Oh.
Unicorn is the Maya Mortal of Gundam.
Yep.
Oh, I don't like that sentence in that
Maya
order.
Mortal is great. I don't know what you're talking about. That's like genuinely entertaining.
Is it like Foam Adventure?
Anyway, so going back to the SD, when they released the Banshee, they actually made improvements to it and put clear parts in the arm. And when they released the Phoenix, they made improvements to it again. So unlike a lot of Bandai kits, they actually improved this one with each recolor and re-release, to the point where the Phoenix comes with a full extra set of limbs and like a crotch, which they reused on the, I think it was the Final Battle Unicorn. But yeah, it'd be nice to see Bandai do that again when they, reuse their parts over and over again. Maybe make a little tweak or fix.
They won't.
No, of course not. It's the SD pulled it off, but they'll never do that in a high grade or a master grade. Let's see. So after that was the first Unicorn mode, and kind of the only one so far. Probably my favorite of all the ones that are released right now, the Unicorn mode Phoenix. It's still got the really silvery gold plating, but it's Unicorn mode, and Unicorn mode is the best mode. I only got to build like 2 of these so far versus the 17 destroy modes. So believe me, I'm real excited about that NT version coming out soon.
There should be more Unicorn mode. It doesn't get enough love.
I think there's like 6 Unicorn modes across all of the brothers.
That's really sad.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, plus all the transforming ones, but
yeah. The
Well, transforming ones don't count. Also, because there's so many people who just can't build them.
or transform them.
well, if they can't,
Cough,
if
cough.
they can't transform them, then they're stuck in unicorn mode.
2016, we start off in April with the Gundam Fixed Figuration, which is a line no one talks about anymore, even though somehow it is still alive.
It looks like pee.
It has a very
Is it
going
still
back
in
to
the
the whole thing of Phoenixes being really inconsistent about color. I didn't mention it, but even the Destroy mode and the Unicorn mode have different shades of pale gold, including the Master Grade. All 3 of those, despite being pale gold, are different shades of pale gold. And then the GF, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Robot Damashi uses like a flat gold spray. It's pretty like copper bronzy. This one uses a much more matte one. It's not nearly as bad as in person, but yeah, pictures make it look really bad.
It looks like mustard.
It's very Dijon.
Why'd you sound like chilled there? It.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The last thing you want in your model kit is it looking like mustard.
Number 15, HGUC Fennec
Sephiroth.
narrative mode version, destroy mode, gold coating.
You say that, but I'm gonna make my Watch Mojo video.
You better.
Oh no.
Now featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Strikes Odaiba set.
If it were real chills, it would have been Odaiba, but
Odaiba.
Odiba.
Strikes
Would have been
Odaiba.
Audiba. Strikes Odiba.
Ba-ba-dee-ba-ba-da.
Strikes Obada set. So yeah, the
Old brudda.
GFF has been going on for, I swear it's been like 15 years now.
yeah, something like that.
They're still making like Origin Zaku's and releasing the Origin Grandpa for it. The Phoenix is kind of neat though. They've released like 17 different versions of the GFF Unicorn. It's actually a pretty cool toy.
least
It's full of diecast.
At least it's an okay kit, and the final battle ones have really nice polarizing effects.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that the Phoenix has a polarized inner frame, which would be really cool to see on anything else. But they've never done it again, except on one high grade that was like a giveaway.
And the final battle unicorn, but yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see it on more kits instead of just the figures.
I mean, Kodo does it, like, constantly. There's how many Kodo kits?
Yeah, well, Kodo's a better company.
Yeah, fair.
Look, we're gonna get Nova to start building some really sick Kodo kits.
Are you though?
This server is gonna... Yeah, we're gonna send... We will send you some Kodo kits just so you realize how much cooler they are.
No.
And UCFC is gonna turn into Kodo fans general.
Oh no.
We're gonna ditch all this Bandai crap and realize that Kodo is the true masters of modeling.
Bandai can die.
Which is tried with 40k.
Don't worry, 40k is weird nerd stuff, not like these cool Japanese anime robots.
You ever wanted to build a dragon that can be a lobster? You think I'm kidding.
Look, episode 3, I'm gonna just rant about how cool Hexagear is, while everyone else like checks out and it's just me talking.
I'll find a Hexagear to build, and
I'll
it'll
build a
probably be
Hexagear.
a governor, and I'll be like, it's a governor.
It's like a little tiny dude you build. He's okay.
It's a Governator.
I like that they're 2 inches.
They're a little bigger than 2 inches.
No,
Like,
I think Matt is
that's what
familiar
she
with how
said.
big 2 inches is.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting for it. Thank you for that.
Yeah, Rad likes, what, like the 21-inch one?
Oh,
Well, you know.
Jeez.
We already talked about my silver bullet magnum. Where'd we leave off? That was the GFF. That was followed by the... most people don't know, Mad is the foremost collector of G-Phoenixes.
That is true. When I start, I will have all of them. But I have not...
I can't wait for my podcast about the X2.
All 5 of them?
Yeah, I think there's 5.
I will think about it in my head real quick. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 G-Phoenixes.
Okay, so there's the... Is there a gunmetal, a clear, a silver coating, a double pack silver coating, and then converge? What
Yep,
else?
you're missing 2.
Oh, God. Let's think. The converge double
Well, if there's
pack.
no gunmetal, you can just...
You got the double
Okay,
pack.
let's see.
So you got regular, clear, gold, or silver, converge,
Let's...
and you got the double pack.
Yeah.
So you got 2 more.
Oh, God. Let's...
Wow.
I'm afraid to say it, but I can't remember the other 2, because I know there's not a BB Senshi or a Master Grade.
There is a unicorn mode.
Oh, is there a unicorn mode?
Yeah, there is.
Okay,
It's in silver.
Is there a unicorn mode and a
Or it's in
unicorn mode
gunmetal.
coating?
No. There's only unicorn mode coding. That's true of the Phoenix too.
Oh, okay.
But the last one is the robot Damashi.
There was a robot Damashi?
Yeah, there's a robot Damashi G Phoenix.
Of course.
It was released the same time as the Phoenix robot Damashi.
Why did they think those 2 were on the same level at that time?
Because they were just announced and put out.
Well, you gotta consider, one was animated and one wasn't.
Yeah, the G Phoenix was animated.
Kinda.
It had a movie. The Phoenix had a G-Dome movie that came out later. So the G Phoenix actually made it to screen before the Phoenix.
Yeah, that's why it's better.
That's why they were banking so hard on the G Phoenix becoming very memorable.
They were hoping that it was gonna save G-Reco, and the success of it is what led to the G-Reco movies, all 5 of them.
Yep, all 7 of them.
With all 9 of them, which are apparently real, and has been screened now.
It's very exciting.
Apparently it's great.
But so the reason I brought that up was because Gundam Front Tokyo, Bandai not missing a chance to sell you the same thing again, decided to resell the gold and silver plating Phoenixes G Phoenix together. They are literally the same. The gold's not even different for once. That's the one time they got it consistent. It's just a big, really classy looking box, I'll be fair, of the gold and silver one together. I don't ever plan on building it because I already have the same thing and it looks nicer as a complete box.
That's not the
But-
reason you're not building it. You know the reason you're not building it.
Because it's the G Phoenix?
Because you're too afraid once you've built one. Once you've built one MSV or NT Phoenix, you're gonna have to get that mastermind, and you know it.
I mean, that's fair. If I ever start to dip into the, I should say that I have 2 G Phoenixes by accident. They're ones
by
that came
accident.
packed with real Phoenixes. They're like the world's worst accessory.
So someone send him another G Phoenix. I'm sure he has a PO box. You can send him whenever you want all the G Phoenixes so that he has to buy the mastermind.
I mean, it will probably come to that someday. I mean, when did you did the math one time? How long have I been collecting Phoenixes?
About 6-7 months, 8 months maybe now.
So, you see, kids, if you really have a dream, in less than a year, you can collect like $3,000 worth of Phoenixes.
So if you
All
just
you have to do is work upper middle management.
double that and you take all your Phoenix money for 8 months, you could buy your own mastermind.
I did the math. At the time I bought my perfect grade, you could buy 3 complete collections of the Phoenix, or 1
Oh
mastermind.
god, it's like 9K now?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I think at last I saw was 84,000.
There's only one that's always for sale, and it's at like 100,000, or like 10,000, something fucking stupid. It hasn't sold for a reason.
Yeah, because the price is ridiculous for a
Yeah.
kit that nobody cares about at all, except for you.
One popped up recently for like 3,600,
Yeah.
which was a steal.
You didn't pick it up?
But I was not quite on the Mastermind Phoenix level. I still don't like it that much. I mean, I could just make it with a gunmetal Sharpie or a gunmetal pin marker. Just take that to the perfect grade.
How do I strip?
I'll cut that in post.
You lick it.
I'll cut that in post. I won't. I will.
Yeah, you.
So that brings us to first Converge. It was October. This was when Converges were still kind of not new.
It was a dark and stormy night, and it was raining.
It was a time where a special edition Converge was less than $20, as opposed to now where it's like
60.
$69.99
Hey, that's the sex
to get the full cloth crossbone.
Wait. That full cloth crossbone was $70.
No, that one was $40.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
The I think it was the Woundwort, the Queenly was like
the Queenly
$70.
is like $70.
Yeah.
They made a Shamblow that was like $100.
Well, at least those are probably kind of big.
They're shrunk down a lot. They're not as big as you would think.
They're still pretty massive.
There's the white base for like $200.
And that thing's big.
That one's cool. I want a Converge white base.
The only picture I've seen of the Queenly outside of like the box is in a fish tank, and it took up almost the entire fish tank.
That's a good fish tank.
So, after the Converge, is that when we get into 2017?
Yes, 2017 was a very big year. That was the perfect grade, which was announced to shocks and awes of why the fuck is there a perfect grade Phoenix? Who the hell is going to buy a perfect grade Phoenix?
Wait, is that the first perfect grade that hasn't been animated?
I believe it was the first perfect grade that was never animated. So yeah, not counting weird convention exclusives, it was the first perfect grade did not even have animation. There might have been a G-Dome movie by now, but that's still fucking bullshit compared to everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Astray Red Frame got a 5-minute OVA.
I remember when this was announced, I wasn't quite into the Phoenix way back then. I was a young, dumb boy.
A little Jigen collector.
And even I thought, wow, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why are they making a PG Phoenix? Little did I know.
And look where you are now.
Yeah, so this was announced to being like one of the most shock and awe is probably a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
And now that people have kind of adjusted to the fact that it exists, it's like a weird wish list thing for a lot of people. Not so much because they want it, but just because they know it's expensive and kind of rare, so they want to have it as a status symbol. Which is
Some people really want it.
which frankly I think is a detriment to it because it deserves real love, not this shallow. It needs a loving home.
I just love gold, man.
Yeah,
I love gold.
I'm a slut for gold as well. I understand.
It looks gorgeous. The perfect grade unicorn is, in my opinion, the best perfect grade. It's like a full win package if it wasn't $700.
That's only if you buy it in the U.S. If you import it at a good price, it's only $500.
That's fair. That's
Oh, so much better.
You could buy 3 perfect grades for that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be 3 perfect grade Phoenixes. Unless...
That's true.
Unless
We'll get into that later.
You're buying them for a dowry.
yeah.
Episode... Me and Mad will be back for episode 4 to talk about that.
Oh God, I can't believe how close you've gotten to spilling the beans.
Don't worry. We'll come back to that. I'll cut it in post.
I know. Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
so yeah, that came out to a whopping 43,000 yen. Everyone thought Bandai had gone full Riri. But it was a surprising success.
Full RE100.
Yeah, they went full RE100. They went full Re 100 times. But now it has become, people are looking back on it much more fondly, and everyone kind of wants a perfect grade Phoenix. People still expect the perfect grade NT, which I don't see happening considering they re-released the original right after the movie.
Nah, they'll just do an add-on.
Yeah. Add-on kit maybe, or in a couple years we'll get the perfect grade NT, and I'll have to buy it again.
It's only don't believe us.
Which will somehow cost like $500 retail now.
Was that a Do You Know the Way reference?
Maybe. Shut up.
How do we ban someone from their own server?
Listen, I enjoyed that meme.
Let's
that
embarrass you for a second.
I too, as a baby, enjoyed
We're
eating poop.
recording this at 1:40 in the morning on the 6th of July, 2019. Now, I believe that this meme ended in January of 2018, which means you, Nova, are a year and 6 months late to canceling this meme. Now, do you claim responsibility for this? Yes or no?
Completely.
Look, sometimes you get your meme at Costco and it has a whole lot of stock, and you just have to keep using it throughout the year.
Oh, okay. I guess.
You don't want to let it go to waste.
Yeah, I suppose so. I did have a friend drink an entire Liberty Brew today, not to waste it.
That man's an American hero. Get him a Medal of Honor.
Specifically American, because Liberty Brew.
But I had to keep the 6-pack, so I'm
Nice.
laughing now.
Dude, I heard Char Osnable has an 8-pack of Liberty Brew.
I heard the Nightingale's terrestrial is based on him.
It's full of Liberty Brew.
Yeah.
It's a storage tank.
It's like LCL, but just Mountain Dew.
No, it's
I'm not sure if you know this, but the origin explains that Char is actually like the American Revolution to the bourgeoisie of Xeon. He is truly the blonde-haired, blue-eyed hero.
Just as the Americans always wanted.
Yeah, but Char Aznable, aka MD Geist, is in fact an anime protagonist.
Yeah, baby
Local
Geist.
man has never betrayed anyone in
Well, Char Aznable has.
exactly.
MD Geist has.
Oh yeah, MD guys betrayed everyone.
Can an animal
constantly.
betray somebody?
Yes.
He can't stop. He's just a soldier.
When we do the podcast, when we do the MD Geist podcast.
I can't wait to
Real.
finally have an MD Guys podcast where we don't think, oh, it's old and bad. That'll be an After Dark. We'll do UCFC After Dark for that.
We
But anyway,
have an After Dark? Where did this happen?
You can only get access to it via the
Patreon.
UC Fight Club Patreon.
if you're a $10 subscriber to the UCFC Patreon, you'll get links to After Dark.
And if you get a $15, we will make a video about whatever you want.
And if you're the part of the $30 tier, we'll mail you our bathwater.
Absolutely.
Yes, and you can get real. You have problems with that.
Hasn't someone already been hospitalized for it?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Someone's-
someone
Drink
got
it.
hospitalized today.
It's been 2 days.
Kids, don't drink the bathwater.
It might taste like girl, but it also tastes like diseases.
Meningococcus.
And so you know what this means? It means that girls taste like diseases.
That's so sad.
Don't worry, I'll edit and post.
Thank you for that.
Alright, so here's what you should.
I absolutely won't.
You should,
but
you
I'll
should edit it. You should go girls taste like and then edit and then just cut to whatever we're going to talk about next, which is of course the next Phoenix. Girl tastes like MD guys.
The next Phoenix. 2018 was a big year. We got the next official animated Gundam work announced.
Do me a favor and edit this out, but it's gonna sound like girls taste like the next Phoenix.
Girl tastes like MD guys.
That is what I'm going to start this podcast with before the pre-roll.
Girls
I'm going to have
taste
that
like
bass boosted. We'll have a nice musical intro. It's going to
Bass.
fade into us doing our pre-roll.
Bass bastard.
Bass bastard. You know, you put it in the
Oh, dude,
oven.
I always based my bass.
Yeah. This is a cooking podcast.
I will say that Rad is an excellent editor, and he will do his best work here, like he did
Good,
on his
'cause-
Colors shippo.
You're going
I
to hear clown noises come in over next time Sunsky talks.
I started this
What are you
podcast
doing?
with no idea how to
My
actually
bad.
edit anything.
Don't worry, you got me. That's why I'm on your mod payroll.
Oh, good. Oh.
You don't worry. You pay me in having power over people.
Oh,
He pays
yeah.
you an exposure.
Yeah, we can't edit Sun's name anymore, unfortunately. But
Actually,
Yeah, I missed
someone can.
so you
That's true. We'll just have to send our ideas through Nova.
Or
fine
Alex,
with
if
this.
he'll actually freaking talk.
This is
Thank
a
you.
It's
call
easy
out
to forget you have a
post.
server. It's like a pet.
Yeah,
To all people
You just
named
forget
Alex.
to feed him for a while, and you come back and
he's been gone for forever. He's still participating in the Secret Santa. He doesn't speak. He's a server owner. Where is he?
look. If God acknowledged himself, what would be the point of living? You know,
He
it's
stays in
a
his
great
heaven because
mystery.
he too lives in fear of what he's created.
Exactly. Speaking of creating and living in fear of it, Gundam NT. Gundam Narrative dropped in 2018. Or it might have been, it was 2018
Yeah, it was
because
like
Phoenix
2018.
came out first. And then it dropped in America like really early 2019.
Yeah, it was in like mid-February because we all flipped shit for like 4 hours straight after it was over.
That was a good time.
That was a really good
Dropped
time.
in February, harder than a baby in
I
a
drank Pib at the theater and got
park.
sick. So I was
That was
like,
unrelated to.
I was
What
trying
did
to
you drink at the Code Geass movie?
nothing.
You should have drank
You
Code
learned your
Red.
lesson.
I was,
You
I,
drunk
I was,
Pib. That's your fault.
dude. They don't have Dr Pepper here.
They don't. You should wasn't Texas Pib. You should have known better. All right, so to start off NT, the Phoenix was released, which was the same kit from 2013, which was the same kit from 2009, Now with pigtails.
Now with the worst swirly gold they've ever done.
It's equally bad to the original, so don't worry. That's the one thing that hasn't changed in 5 years. I had to stop and make sure I did my math right. 5 years.
Good work. I'm proud of you.
It's too much Phoenix.
It really makes me wish they would have done a Phoenix in the really awful Hayakushiki Brown, the HGUC one. That came with the Mega Beam Launcher.
Oh.
Oh, that one's
Be
delicious.
beautiful. It's the same color as the Gabalthi, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
But so to celebrate NT, we got the... oh yeah, here's a fun thing to talk about. They released the NT Phoenix, the swirly gold one. And a couple months later, what did they announce and release?
A gold coating one.
Yeah, the thing everyone wanted from the start. Apparently, the high-grade Phoenix sold so well that they immediately re-released it like 2 kits apart in gold for 5,000 yen.
Woo.
They added 500 yen to each narrative Phoenix because the pigtails were such a huge addition.
It's true. It's true, though.
This, but unironically.
Somehow, it also seems to have sold incredibly well. Of course, it's a unicorn variant. And it's gold, which, as much as people hate to think gold is gaudy, it sells.
As much as people like to think that the unicorn is overused and trashy, it sells.
I can't wait for the,
I mean, they're still
the
right.
Van Destiny Red China version.
I'm so
Oh, yeah.
excited.
I can't wait for the...
It's not because I want it, it's just because everyone's going to be so mad about it, and so
Yeah,
I'm just
son.
going to buy it as a meme.
So I haven't had a chance to talk about it because they're tangentially related.
Oh.
There was a very special edition real grade and a very special edition master grade.
Yes, indeed.
They were gold unicorns that were not Phoenixes.
They had a Banshee Psycho frame.
The real grade did. So there's an event every year called Gundam at Hong Kong Docks. It's like a special event they throw for China because China's one of the biggest economies in the world and they realize they make a lot of money there. So they go out to some boat docks and sell a lot of premium stuff.
Like that clear new that I want so bad. Damn it, Big Bad Toy Store.
They sell really cool stuff too, like way cooler than most event exclusive stuff. And one of those things was a gold coated unicorn. Not a Phoenix, which is a gold unicorn, but a gold unicorn. It's surprisingly easy to find because it was in China, and China is easy to buy stuff from.
China.
Thank you, eBay.
China.
Also related, the real grade unicorn was also released in gold as the anniversary for the first year of the Gundam Front Tokyo being Gundam Base Tokyo being out. So there is a unicorn with the Banshee's frame and the Phoenix's color.
It's really the perfect unicorn if you think about it.
Oh, and it's got a bronze backpack and feet because it does. I have those two as kind of like a victory lap. I don't know why, but I do.
They look
There's nowhere else to really stick those in, so I wanted to bring them up. But that brings us to, so there was the retail, which was just the swirly. There was the gold plating.
Which is also
And then
retail.
continuing the tradition started by Gundam Front Tokyo, we got the clear color that came out with the movie. This one is a little less exciting, but probably better looking.
It's a little less peepee.
It's actually just regular clear yellow with a blue frame. None of that weird, like, cicada shell clear and, like, yellow sprinkles. It's just a clear Phoenix. That was followed by the Stein, which I'm sure was meant to be P Bandai. Was a re-release. And then they made the MG NT Phoenix, which was P Bandai. It was 14,000 yen. It's very nice. It was my first exclusive Phoenix in the collection.
Started it off.
For some reason, probably because it only got issued once, it is incredibly expensive now. Like, it's hard to find it for under 20,000 yen.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, I got lucky and bought mine from a U.S. seller even cheaper than that. I got it during the...
If I could get a regular Phoenix right now, and I could use the silver gunmetal marker, and I could make my own Phoenix.
Well, you got to get the Gundam Marker Airbook.
Alright,
Don't worry, I'll cut it in post.
don't cut it in post.
I'll, when people take phone calls, when they go to get drinks, you leave it in.
Yeah.
No, you add it in post.
Let's
just double
let's
it
talk
like
about that time Sunski called it My Little Mermaid.
Yeah, let's call him out here on live television.
This is
On live television.
We're on PBS right now. I didn't know if I told you that.
Yeah, we're
No.
airing to 10,000 people. So let's talk about the time that he referred to the 1989 traditionally animated Disney film, The Little Mermaid.
Is it really from 1989?
Yeah, it's 1989.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it came out the year after Acura. Look at how far Disney came. But
All over the walls, the kitchen, the ceiling.
yeah, it's just like in Devilman. But this
My Little Mermaid.
this absolutely bozo clown brony referred to it.
Listen here,
as
you.
My
How
I'm
Little
dare you.
editing in
Mermaid.
clown honks right now.
And
Wait, what are you doing?
and he refused to apologize for calling it My Little Mermaid.
You're welcome.
He also hasn't seen Den of Ava.
I also have not. That is true.
All right, where do we leave off? Master Grade NT. It has the exact same problems as the original Master Grade. It's very back heavy, but now it's got tails.
It's even more back heavy.
Yeah.
Also, the nubs suck.
The nubs are particularly bad, yeah. The nice thing is, pretty much every Phoenix, if you just give it a little tap of Gundam Marker Gold, you're fine. As long as you're not, like, hamming it. Just a little tap-a-tappa.
Little snaffy taffy.
So following that, we got a 2018 re-release of a, like, 2015 Robot Damashi. Oh, I'm sorry, 2013 Robot Damashi. They re-released the full-action unicorn as the Phoenix, again with the tails.
It's very yellow.
It retailed for 8,500 yen.
Oh wow, the one I'm looking at right now is pretty cheap.
The original retailed for 5,400 yen.
Oh, well, this one that I'm looking at is $54.65.
That's a good price. It's cheap because no one bought it because 8,500 yen is ridiculous. You see, Bandai's model kit company is immune to inflation, but their toy making is not. That's why Soul Chigokins keep getting more expensive and smaller every year.
Poor Getter.
Poor Getter. Getter Emperor is more like a Getter like Lord.
What's he, like 4 inches?
Yeah, like 3 inches, about the size of a governor. Gonna look really cool putting the Getter Emperor on my Rayblade Impulse.
So you've missed a certain Phoenix that you've refused to talk about so far.
Which one do you want to talk about? Let's roll back a little bit.
Well, I don't know. You might have just not gotten to it yet, but I believe you're forgetting about the undisputed best Phoenix.
The Robot Damashi G Phoenix.
No, we've discussed that one sufficiently.
The Converge G Phoenix.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Uh,
is. Let's
So
hear
just to
about
talk about it,
Thought we did.
Eric. So just to talk about it, big elephant in the room.
the Converge G Phoenix.
For some reason, Bandai likes to do collaborations with fashion brands. There's the camouflage grandpa for Bathing Ape. If you don't know, Bandai is as hipster shit as you can possibly get with all their really weird crossovers.
Yeah,
like the
which is-
Pepsi Next Gundam,
Yeah.
or Success Gundam, or all of the baseball Gundams.
Or now the Ken Okayama
I
Gundams,
love the
which,
baseball.
if you didn't know, is a supercar designer. He's for
Yep.
some reason drew up 3 Gundam designs that made it look like they were going to be the movie designs, but were in fact just weird shit that some weird car manufacturer did.
Bandai decided that would be a good idea for the 40th anniversary instead of just making the Izu Gundam. But anyway, one of the people they like to collaborate a lot with is Mastermind, which was a super pretentious Japanese fashion brand,
It's like Supreme.
like most fashion brands are.
It's Japan's Gucci.
Like Supreme. It is not Japan's Gucci. Gucci is Japan's Gucci. That's why Gucci's in JoJo.
Oh, right.
But, so every once in a while, they'll collaborate with Mastermind, who I've never actually seen any of their clothes.
I've
Which
only
it does
seen
not
Ken.
say anything good about a fashion brand. They did such hits as the 1 to 12 scale Zaku painted entirely in flat black with a skull sticker on it. The Perfect Grade Grandpa done in complete black with a skull sticker on it. The Perfect Grade Zaku done in perfectly flat black with a skull on it.
I think I might be noticing a theme here. It might just be me.
Which led us to the Mastermind Phoenix, which is the Perfect Grade Phoenix. A kit already bemoaned for being ridiculously expensive and exclusive and pointless. Recolored by a fashion brand into chrome black with blue frame and given some skull stickers. And it retailed at, I think it was $500, which is very cheap compared to the like 10,000 it goes for now, or 1,000. Sorry, yeah, it is 10,000. It's 10,000.
Yeah.
On a good day, I've seen it for 3,000. So 10% markup or 100% markup already. 1,000% markup. I'm sorry. It does actually come with LEDs though, so you know, definitely worth it.
If you got it at launch, it would be pretty worth it.
Yeah, easily, because you'd have 10 times your money. That's better than Apple stock if you bought it back in the day. That is not a lie. That is actually better than what Apple stock grew. If you could go back in time, people usually make the joke is, oh, if I knew all this, I'd go back in time and buy a lot of a toy when you could buy stock and make way more money. You could go back in time, buy a lot of Mastermind Phoenixes, and significantly profit.
Or steal them.
Or steal them. I mean, you're profiting
You're
either
a
way.
time traveler. You can obviously go where you want.
But that is the Mastermind Phoenix. It's probably the second most expensive PG, next to the gold-coated Grandpa. And that one is literally coated in gold.
You ever seen the build video for that thing?
I have.
Yes, it's
No, but
terrifying.
It's kind of terrifying.
It's really cool, but that guy has huge cojones.
Boy, I don't understand.
Don't
I
understand how you build
I
that
feel
thing.
weird about defacing a magazine pack-in kit that I got for like $1,000 because it's so rare. Let alone literally the rarest Gunpla ever made.
I respect him, but at the same time, I have to remember there's a platinum high grade somewhere, and it was worth, I think, $125,000.
Yeah,
And someone built it.
It was already built by some Bandai person who said, "Yeah, I'll do that. That seems like a great idea."
it was great because they could recoat the nubs.
Ugh.
So that leads us out of the really awkward Robot Damashi re-release, and it leads us to the first new mold in a very, very, very ever. The first new mold ever. This is something that people are going to forget about in a couple years because it's so weird. The Cross Silhouette Phoenix is the original Cross Silhouette of the brothers. The Unicorn and Banshee are actually Phoenix remolds this time.
Yeah, the unicorn's just now coming out, like a year later, at least.
Yeah, as of the time of this, I think the Unicorn came out next month? Or does it just come out?
I think it just got announced.
No, it was announced a little while ago. I can't remember if it's out now or if it's coming out this month.
Well, we got product images for it, so it's probably coming out this month.
Yeah, so in like 3-4 years, people are just going to assume the SDCX Unicorn came first. This one and only time, the Phoenix actually beat the Unicorn and the Banshee, which is wild and will never happen again. I should mention that so far. Everything's has been remold.
Every single one.
We have one unique Phoenix coming up, and that's it. Oh, actually, we have two. Nope, it's just one. Never mind, that's a remold. So the very next Phoenix that came out after the Cross Silhouette, which, by the way, I'll mention was Curry Gold again, but nice Cross Silhouette, probably my favorite. I've built it. Oh yeah, I should talk about that. There are 4 possible builds you can make of the Cross Silhouette Phoenix, not counting weird customizable ones, because Cross
You're
Silhouette.
Really gonna leave out the Ape Escape one.
Oh yeah. The Cross Silhouette is a very weird line because it is the only one I know of that has option parts for its option parts. As you know, the gimmick for Cross Silhouette is that you can buy a secondary frame to build the kit on instead, and it's more articulated. About a month ago, they released the Cross Silhouette Booster, which is a booster set for your booster set, which lets you give it the old no-leg proportions are really long, like half the size of HG proportions.
Horrifying.
Very lanky. So if you use both booster sets and the frame, you have 4 possible Phoenixes from the Cross Silhouette. And of course I have them all because I need to be stopped.
Please, God, someone.
Please, anyone. They're just going to keep making them. Actually, since we're at a year gap, let's talk about the unreleased Phoenix.
Oh, poor girl.
Yeah, Bandai, for a little while, they were big into... well, Kodo was making a lot of money on frame arms, so Bandai had to get a piece of that action. So rather than making model kits, they started with figures, the Armor Girl project. Most of which weren't actually great. They got a little better later on, but after they got better, they killed the line. One of such which ones was they showed in a mosaic censored photo, they showed a AGP Phoenix next to the AGP Banshee and Unicorn. They've never shown that picture again. They've never shown it uncensored. It might be some really wild thing where they release it. They finally release it years later, like the Gitter Emperor was. But probably not. We're probably never going to see it. And that makes me a little sad, because I would like to have an actual girl Phoenix on the shelf.
Just do what Witch does and make it.
Yeah, but it's not official.
wonder-
I don't even paint
No.
mine, because I gotta have them true to original box.
I wonder if because of like the quote unquote Phoenix lore, if they had already planned like NT at this point
That's
in
the
time.
thing. If you look at the mosaic censorship,
Mhm.
I mean,
Does
it
look like-
actually looks like Rita.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm wondering if that's why they had it.
It very
censored.
clearly has her hair, but the hair looks a little more brown. But I'm sure this was like the early planning stage.
Yeah.
It should be mentioned, Rita is in Phoenix hunting.
That's
Michelle is
interesting.
not, but Rita is actually in Phoenix hunting.
That's fascinating. I didn't realize she was in it. I just thought it was Yona being Yona.
Yep. The story is pretty similar. I think they toned down the new type.
And there's no NT.
Yeah, there's no narrative. Jonah has a Stark Jigen, which is the coolest part of it. It makes the movie make way more sense. So it's very plausible that they already had a Rita design back then. And that might have been why they mosaiced it. So I was thinking maybe after NT came out, they would bring it back. There's still time. It could happen. For now, that's the Lost Phoenix.
We've got a year left until Hathaway's Flash, and everyone forgets about NT, which means that it's prime time for them to release it.
I mean, NT was the top-selling Blu-ray for like 2 months.
Jeez.
That
In
is surprising.
Beating
That's
out
depressing.
Detective Conan. Which, if you know anything about Japan, that's a good hallmark if you beat Detective Conan. So that wraps us into the year of P. Bandai. Early in the year, we got the most bizarre and forgettable Phoenix, the G-Frame, which itself is one of the most bizarre and forgettable lines of Gundam. If you don't know, G-Frames are candy toys that you have to buy twice to get one figure.
What a great line. Oh, the Dom looks nice.
They're neat. They have really interesting proportions. They're generally kind of cool.
Buy one.
They also typically cost like 1,000 yen for a set. The NT G-Frame Phoenix cost 3,780.
Oh. So you could buy a master grade Dom, or alternatively, you could buy a G-frame Phoenix.
Yeah, and I should point out the G-Frame Phoenix does not have all the Psycho Frame painted, and it is just a regular spray gold.
Really?
And I will also say that in the aftermarket, it is pretty impossible to find the G-Frame Phoenix for under 5,000 yen.
So you could buy the master grade Unicorn Ver OVA,
Absolutely.
or you could buy the G-frame Phoenix
You could get the OVA Unicorn with the cage used
for that price.
for that price, yeah.
Damn.
Or the G-Frame.
That's real sad.
I will say the G-Frame has the most stable tails short of the MG, so it's got to win there.
It's gotta win somewhere.
Good on you. Hey, that doesn't exist yet.
Well, yes, it does.
Well, not the Phoenix, so we
Well,
can't,
no,
we
but the
can't talk
tails-
about it because it's not real.
But the tails. The tails.
The
Are
Yeah,
tails
the
do
tails do
exist.
exist. And
so we
they're-
can talk about the tails.
They're completely fine. Yeah,
And they're solid.
Yeah, we can bring that up since we talked a little about the RG Phoenix. Every single part for it already exists, except the crest.
Every single part for every single Phoenix that they're going, every single Unicorn variant that they're going to release was all released at once, including the Banshee expansion parts and the Phoenix parts and everything. Whenever Bandai made the brilliant move of putting out the Plan B with the Unicorn box set, which means that now everyone's still saying, "You have all the parts. Where's my Phoenix?" It's in August.
Yeah, it's going to be August or September after the high grades come out and everyone's bought it. They're going to finally announce the better one so everyone will buy it, even though it's not better.
Don't lay out all your cards at the table at the moment you have them. That's
Only
kind of
this
a
one
business
card.
thing.
Otherwise, all the RG Phoenixes, they announced them all well within a year,
Ugh.
which is
If
really
they-
funny, but also
Yeah.
awful. It was like it took maybe a year and a half to go from the Unicorn to like the Banshee final battle.
Yeah, I found Final Battle Banshee is great, but not worth the price. I don't regret it, but please don't buy it.
Let's see.
Huh.
It was $100 for a real grade Banshee that's only a green color and some green decals. Don't buy it. I don't regret it, but please don't.
You got to get
Well,
the
just
you
pay
got to get
it.
the Master Grade and the Perfect Grade now.
I want the perfect grade and the master grade, but they're not happening because it's Bandai, which is perfectly logical.
It's actually not that expensive.
Yeah, it's only 80.
Yeah, something like that.
Really?
What,
Yeah,
the
it's-
master grade? Or the
Uh,
No, that's
the-
before shipping.
I don't know. I was looking at Mandrake the other day, and there was one up for like 8,000, 85.
Those are a lot of numbers you just threw at me.
And then the shipping hits, and you end up getting your ass kicked anyway.
Yeah, it's like probably like $40 shipping, something like that.
But then I still wouldn't have the perfect grade.
Yeah, I think the perfect grade's gonna be the hardest one.
Master Grades are.
It's so
expensive as shit.
beautiful.
I'm happy to check for you.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, we should cover that. They released every possible variant of
Like
the
the
Unicorn
Van
and
Ness,
made
I
some up for still not announcing the Phoenix, which is really
The
funny.
Yeah,
which
no,
is really,
sorry,
really
Final
funny.
Battle Banshee's a thing.
No, I'm talking about the Gundam Base exclusive gold unicorn.
Oh.
Yeah, when we say that you
Oh.
could make a Phoenix, we literally mean you can take the frame off of the Final Battle, or Plan B, and put the gold armor on it and literally have a Phoenix.
And there's already a third-party company who releases armed armor DEs with several different attachments, including backpack, 2 different kinds of backpack connectors, and just in case you were wondering, a Phoenix V-fin.
I mean, if anyone hasn't saw it, I already made a real great Phoenix like twice now.
Oh yeah.
Everyone believes it every time I post it, and it's really funny.
They have completely different golds, and people always believe it.
That's real great. It's color separation. Real grades
Yeah,
have
you're
color
right.
separations.
You're
What are you
right.
talking about?
Half of it's pale, half of it's
Just-
orange.
Yeah,
It's like the Justice.
exactly. Exactly like the Justice. So that was the G-frame. Not a lot left to talk about. They released the Converge. Oh, I have a story about this one. I can bring this story up. I've told Matt about it before.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Let me check and see if they still have it for pre-order.
You want to make a
told me-
call out on which site this is so that people know not to buy their P-Bandai shit since they clearly have no idea how it works?
They do. They have it for pre-order and release July 2019. So the Converge Phoenix NT came out in February 2019. For people who don't know how P-Bandai works, they open pre-orders on their website. They take so many, if the pre-orders overflow, they'll re-release it again the next month, and they'll keep doing it until pre-orders stop. The Converge is pretty popular, but not like insane. So it filled up its pre-orders, and it was done. It shipped in February, which means everyone who would have got one latest, if they had to go through a middleman, would be like March, maybe. That's what's slowest possible shipping. The place I pre-ordered it from is an American site. They had the pre-orders up around that time, so I went ahead and bought there. I've come to realize this site does not know how P-Bandai works because they've bumped the release date for all of their stuff monthly for a year now.
You want to call them out?
They still have
Oh.
my
they
God.
still have the GM Semi-Striker on pre-order, which I think came out in January,
Yeah, it did.
and they keep adding new ones. So this kit that
That-
came out, or this figure that came out in February, they still have it as a July pre-order.
Now you gotta name the site, man. You gotta...
That site is Megalopolis. They clearly do not know how. From what I've seen, they're a fairly legit site.
Alright.
They just clearly do not understand how Bandai
So I guess
works.
we should call this a doomed megalopolis.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to finally call and just ask them to cancel the order, which, to be fair, they did very nicely. They did it right away.
Well, that's good.
No hassle, and I bought it off eBay for cheaper. But yeah, so don't buy your P-Bandai here. They do not know how it works. I think they think the Bandai just mails it to them normally. Haven't quite worked out what that exclusive means. Maybe like 2021, February, they're going to actually finally get them. And I'll be proven wrong like 2 years later when I'm buying my Mega Size Phoenix.
Oh,
that's
yes.
finally announced. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. Don't go on that tangent
Yeah,
yet.
we can't go off the deep end until the very end, until you've talked about the final battle, bro.
Wrapping it up, there's the Final Battle High Grade, which was a Gundam Base exclusive. This is the first one that's Gundam Base.
So sad.
This one is done in a slightly nicer, like, injection metal. It's not as bad as the Curry.
It's yellow.
It's got like it's not quite Dijon-y, it's got a hint of green in it. It's kind of pleasant. And the frame on it is green with sparkles in it because it's the Final Battle version. As far as non-plated ones go, it's actually pretty nice. I wish they would have made like a green chrome one because that would have been sick. But this is what we got, and it's okay.
Well, I was hoping for the fluorescent yellow.
I mean, I also want that. I would love a re-release that was the like Yakushiki Master Grade fluorescent yellow with the blue pack. I want it to be able to wear it around my neck and like show cars where I am at night.
Don't worry, you'll get it in Mega Size one day.
Mega size Yakushiki Blue Pack.
No, Phoenix. With the Balut pack.
Everything's getting a Master Grade or Mega Size these days, but we'll get to that. Unreleased is the Unicorn Mode narrative, which comes out in August. I haven't built it yet. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's the best kit ever made. I think it's gonna have vast improvements over the original. It's totally not gonna be a remold or non-remold, a re-release of a 2009 kit.
It's actually
It'll-
going to be just a bunch of SDs glued together.
It'll literally be a decade old when it gets released.
Jesus.
And that frame is crying for sweet mercy.
It's the capstone.
Hopefully they drop it like the
on
grandpa.
It's the capstone on the most prolific kit that isn't the HG gun.
Of course.
That's had like hundreds of runs.
To be fair, the impressive thing is the Jigen is like slightly remolded every time.
Wait, really?
Sorry, I mean like every re-release of the
Yeah.
Jigen. Every release of the Jigen has been, slightly tweaked and has new parts. The Unicorn is a trooper. It has been the exact same frames with like one new frame for each variation.
For 10 years now.
And it is holding in there, and it has been a long, rough 10 years. God bless that little frame. One day I feel like they're going to drop it like a 1990 Grandpa, and it'll earn its eternal rest in like a museum showpiece.
Yeah, it'll be like the
God, I hope
Miracle
so.
of Axis version or something. Is going to be the last printing.
Yeah, we'll go pay our respects in person.
Yeah,
It'll be laid to rest right next to its grandpa, where it deserves to be.
yeah, because it is on the same level as that kit.
It'll be very very touching ending. We'll all have a little tear.
And then they'll release the Unicorn Revive.
Yeah, then they'll release the Unicorn
Like
Revive.
2 months later.
2 months later. And I'll have to buy all these. Let's talk about how the double Zeta for Ka is the worst kit ever made. And it's not stable,
That's true.
No, it's not stable.
especially if you build with scissors. Don't worry, I'll cut that in post. I know you're listening. I know you're listening, buddy. You're okay. Let's give. You know who you are. Let's give a shout out for our buddy. You know who you are.
Yeah, Trent.
Yeah, not Trent. Thank you for listening, buddy. You're a cool guy.
Love you, Gunpla. You're the best.
310.
Yeah,
Poke Ranger?
yeah. And that is all the Phoenixes. That is a review of them all.
So now you have to rank them in order of best towards
No,
gold.
that's for another time.
Now I have to review all of the weird merchandise I have. The like 70 pieces of it.
No, we don't.
Oh,
we
shit,
need to get
yeah,
to
I
the
forgot.
we need to get to the capstone of this
Yeah.
podcast.
So let's cap off this episode. This was not in the news, but
This is more
in
important.
celebration of them, it's like more than halfway through the year, and they're finally talking about the 40th anniversary.
Yes.
Even though the first episode aired like 3 months ago,
Yeah, they didn't really acknowledge that.
they didn't even acknowledge Turn A also turning 20. Wait, yes they did with the nanoskins.
The nanoskins got it.
There we go.
So to celebrate the 40th anniversary
The
of
Grandpa
Gundam,
and Gundam. What else would they do?
they decided to celebrate 40 years of Gundam with 40 mega-sized unicorns that are repainted to be different mobile suits from the series' history. You might think this would be easy, leads. No, Bandai is next level. We finally have a list. Sunsky, can you pull that list up?
Yeah.
I know there are some
one of
that
them
we
is
ended
wrong,
up.
but-
Yeah, one of them is wrong. We realized it way later, and boy howdy, I can see why we got it wrong.
Because it was the most important and memorable Gundam.
Apparently, it got a master grade.
It did get a master.
There you
So, to celebrate, they made 40 recolored mega-sized unicorns
Actually-
to look like other suits.
Actually, all but one of these has gotten a master grade. Oh, I guess all but 2. Wait, 3. 4. Never mind. I was wrong this whole time.
Shut up, Matt. You don't know what you're
That's
talking
true.
about.
I'm a fake fan.
Fake
Oh,
fan.
fuck. Wow.
Can I point out something a little bit
Oh,
concerning?
what's the
Yes.
concerning thing?
Where's the Phoenix?
Not aware.
There's no Phoenix. There's also no new.
There's a high new, but there's no new.
They have the Norn, the Fat Bee. They have Age FX and Deep Striker, but they don't do a
Yeah,
Phoenix.
They have
let's.
the
They're just
Reborn.
teasing us now.
Let me go from let me go over these real fast. 'Cause,
Finish.
it's so the 40 unicorns are the RX-78, of course. The Zaku 2, yeah, of course. Char's Zaku, yeah, all right. The Dom,
Hell yeah.
a personal favorite of Matt. The Goof, we did end up deciding on Goof, which is weird because it's blue and it's right above the Alex, which is next to what I think we finally settled on
Yes.
being the Camphor.
Yeah.
Which is under the Zeta,
apparently.
which is next to the mega-sized unicorn Hyakushiki, which is above the mega-sized unicorn Cubule.
Which is, of course, next to you, the greatest one of all. The
The-
mega size unicorn deep striker.
which took us literally an hour to try from like a really fuzzy cell phone shot. You people nowadays have all your high-res images of it. This was pre-event
We were
start.
in the trenches, bro.
We were
on Weibo.
We
which
were
is
going
Chinese
through Weibo
Twitter.
comments, translating Chinese to try and get hints, and it was not
And
easy.
we were 39 out
Yeah,
of 40.
it took us like
Yeah.
it definitely took us over an hour to figure out Deep Striker, because why? Why would it be the Deep Striker?
It was a really hard fought one, but yeah, considering the Deep Striker isn't even canon to the series it's from. The Deep Striker never exists in Sentinel, and that's what they used to represent Sentinel.
Okay.
There's also the Double Zeta Mega Size Unicorn. And then there's the High Nu, and did we decide if it was the Sazumi
was
or
the
the
Sazumi.
Nightingale?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
the-
Sazumi because it's got the
Yes.
black forearms.
It's got the black forearms and it's got the two-tone thing, which the Nightingale doesn't have.
Right, so Mega Size High Nu versus Mega Size Sazumi Unicorn. Then they have the Crossbone and Crossbone X2. The most confusing of all was the Victory 2. Not the Victory 2, but the Victory 2 Salt Buster. Oh no, it was just the Buster because it had, to represent the gold, they made the shoulders and the knees orange.
Fluorescent orange.
Yeah, not gold at all. It looks like cheap
Not gold, not yellow.
Cheeto resin.
It looks like resin.
Like unpainted Cheeto resin. Above the God, next to the Double X and Wing. Next to the Epion, the Mega Size Unicorn Epion. Above the Turn A, next to the Turn X. Below the Freedom, next to the Mega Size Unicorn Infinite Justice. Above the Red Frame, next to the Destiny. Below the Providence. Next to the Double O. Above the Gundam Reborn's Mega Size Unicorn. Next to the Build Strike. Next to the Age FX Mega Size Unicorn. Next to the G-Self. Next to the Fenice. Next to the Barbados Lupus. Next to the Build Burning. Next to the Norn. Next to the Unicorn. The Unicorn version Unicorn Mega Size.
Which I would like
I'm
to point
positive-
out.
Unicorn mode, so the Psycho Frame is all white.
No, the Psycho Frame
Which- no, it's
red,
not.
But
For
I would
some
like
reason,
to point
yeah,
out,
you're right, sorry.
if you didn't notice, they repainted the Mega Size Unicorn into the Unicorn. They painted the Psycho
Yeah.
Frame.
I am
Yeah,
almost.
just painted the
I was
Psycho
almost
Frame like
positive
matte
it was
red.
just a snap fit. I thought it was just a snap fit they stuck up there.
Yeah,
and they
but
were
if you, look
taking
at
the
the,
piss.
if you look at the close-up pictures,
Yeah, it's painted.
It's actually painted, and the red is like a matte or something.
I would have been so much happier if it was a really bad snap fit with nubs still sticking out. Right above the Norn, which is just the fucking unicorn repainted into the Norn. They just won't release a Banshee in full Mega Size.
Yeah, they got to make a grandpa in unicorn colors first.
I don't
With,
know
like,
why they're
magenta
so
Psycho
afraid
Frame.
of. They don't have to even stick in the armed armor. They can literally just make it the new color in VFin.
Yeah,
And
or
no
they
one
could
will
just make
complain.
it the Verka. They could just say Verka Mega Size or
I don't-
Novel.
I don't think anyone could complain. It would be very easy to do. That kit is like a bunch of little weird frames. Oh yeah, next to the full armor Thunderbolt, below.
And
this is the one that
finally-
really caught us. The Gundam Age 2 Magnum Unicorn Mega Size. Because when I think of 40 years of Gundam, I think of the Age 2 Magnum, the Infinite Justice, and the goddamn Deep Striker. Oh, and the Fenice.
And Reborn.
Because that's how I
Reborn
celebrate 40 years of Gundam.
For a really long ass time, I was thinking that the Reborns was the Buster because of this. It looks super green in these shots that we've seen of it, so it looked like it was green and like cream and orange.
The only way that I caught it was because it's got yellow on the crotch and crest, which only the Reborns does. That really weird off shade of yellow that looks not great.
Looks like resin.
Yeah. Then they made the
resin.
Build Fighters version, which actually was resin.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's great news to end it on. It's a very beautiful picture. You should look up the 40 mega sizes.
These will be put up in the Louvre in the next couple months, so be ready for that.
And with that, we actually just hit 1 hour and 55 minutes, so we can wrap this up just short of 2 hours.
Woohoo.
We did
God,
it.
God knows how much Post is going to cut out. Closing words
hour.
of this, not only the second episode of the UCFC podcast, but the first special episode. The sophomore episode is the first special one.
Now I don't have to buy any Phoenixes because I've heard Rad's opinion on them.
Yeah, you have to buy all the G Phoenixes, and we'll do this episode again next year when you have all those.
Congratulations, you'll have a new episode. Now wait 6 more months for the next one.
No, don't worry. You got us. We'll come up with a.
If you go to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/givememoneypaypig,
This is true.
you can pay $10 for the next episode, which is going to be a group watch of MD Geist and MD Geist 2 Death Force.
That's After Dark, of course.
This is after
Are we
dark.
gonna be doing like an After Dark section for this episode too?
No.
Okay.
No, not for real.
No.
Not for real.
I was about to be
We're-
like,
look,
boy.
I mean, unless you're on the Patreon, that definitely exists.
Yeah.
You just have to Google
You just
it.
have to find it. It's real hard. The
Yeah,
man's trying to keep
we
us
actually
down.
hid it in someone else's Patreon, like Frog Fractions 2.
And if
Yeah.
you're wondering what we do with that Patreon money, I don't know. Hookers
We
and
give it to Nova to buy more kits.
We use it to buy coke to snort off of Mikot's ass.
yeah. This is
That's a way to end it.
Because she's easily the best girl in Unicorn because she doesn't talk a lot and she's got really cute hair.
yeah, that's fair.
It's good to know you have your priorities straight.
I can respect that.
Peru 11 is a close second.
Oh,
She's Peru 12, you fake fan?
No, she wasn't in it. She saw there as a shadow for like 2 seconds.
that
Oh, I see.
EXS. Oh,
Oh yeah,
How
well,
does it feel?
let's talk about the Mechanic Core EXS next episode,
Yeah.
which we are definitely going to do because we've got a team now.
Woohoo!
We will decide what. Does anyone have any ideas for the next episode? Let's
If
make
we're
this
gonna
our joke.
If we're gonna be talking about EXS, might as well do a bootleg episode.
That'll come later.
How
Don't
about
worry.
a Sentinel
Yeah,
episode?
this should be our thing for signing off an episode. We'll all come up with really stupid ideas for the next episode, and one of them might be real.
How about one entirely just Sentinel?
Yeah, I'm down to talk about Sentinel because
Sentinel?
I own every Sentinel kit as well. I am a Japanese salaryman. I do coke off of tall white women's asses every day.
I commission images of them buying bread.
Okay, that's so Sentinel episode. Don't worry, I'll fix it in post.
It's pronounced cocaine,
That's-
you degenerate.
It's how the Yakuza smuggled it in Sentinel kits.
Smuggled it in its butt.
That was the peak year of the Yakuza, and that's how they did it. Okay, Mad, what's your episode idea?
Well, I think that we should do an episode on Kotobukiya.
Oh boy.
That was my idea too. Kotobukiya's got a lot of cool
Yeah, I
kits,
think we should
and
talk about how Bandai has never made a kit even half as good as any given Kotobukiya kit for the past 3 years.
Mad, you've built 2 Kotobukiya kits now.
Yeah.
So we got to get you to get a frame arms
Yeah.
and a hexagear. Sun's got to get
I'm
a
gonna get a hexagear.
I have a frame arms. Are you saying that I need a frame arms girl?
A frame arms girl. I'm sorry. You need a frame arms girl and a
Alright,
hexagear.
I'll get the frame music girl Miku.
There you go. I mean, yeah, that's on brand.
I'll figure out what hexagear and governor to get.
Everyone's gonna get governors, so they're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about when I talk about how hexagears work. It'll be great. We'll wait for Amazon to accidentally drop the price on the Motor Punisher
Hell
again,
yeah.
and we'll force Nova into building some Kotobukiya kits. We'll show him the light. We'll bring Witch on. He's a Koto bro.
Okay, who's paying $50 for a governor?
If you buy them off America, you gotta buy them off of Mandarake when you're already getting a shipment of something, because they do not add to the shipping cost.
Are they really that tiny?
Because they are tiny. They are pretty tiny.
Damn.
All right, your idea was bootlegs,
Yeah.
right, son? I'm gonna say the Koto idea because I said it first. Fuck you, man.
You are a historical revisionist. I think we should do an episode on the Phoenix.
Hey, I'm doing editing, so I can make me say whatever I wanted. My idea is going to be a
You
Koto
should
episode. What do you
suggest
think,
a turn
Matt?
A.
I think that we
Yes,
should
you
do,
also wanna do
You
a
should
Koto.
suggest turn A.
There we go.
Yeah, we should do an episode on all the Turn A kits.
All of the old ones, like I really want to talk about the 1 to 144 flat.
I would love to talk about the 1 to 144 flat.
All episode. We're all gonna buy one.
Yeah.
We're all gonna buy a mobile flat. And gonna spend 2 hours
Please,
talking
God.
about that one.
I'll
kit.
get right on that.
It's got
Every-
10 compartments.
You don't?
And it comes with MGE Pig. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Nova, this is your podcast, so you should sign off for us.
I need to get the mental faculties. All right, guys. Well, I hope. All right,
Don't worry,
guys,
I'll fix
I
it in
hope
post.
you guys have enjoyed this episode. Sorry for the absolute disaster, as every episode will be, and I will always apologize for the disaster, but I am not very sorry at all. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Watch out, Mick. We're going to kick your ass. Gun Dummies is going down. UCFC, UCFC, UCFC.